Hello, good morning dear friends. Today we are here to record the lecture on human behavior at work. Now this is the first part of human behavior at work. We'll be discussing about what the group is and the stages of development of group. Now let's see what the group is. Now group is a collection of two or more people with common interest, hobbies, working together for achieving a common goal. So this is group. That means there are two or more people, they have some interests, some hobbies, something which is binding them together, and they are working for a common purpose, or they have a common motive. So from the definition what comes is group has got a common goal or a motive. In a group, individuals think that they are part and parcel of the group, and there are various types, say same type of hobbies, same type of interests of those people, same type of nature of those people which are binding them together. Group member feels group as unified unit of interacting people, and these people are constantly interacting among one another. They are agreeing and they are disagreeing, and then they are mutually sorting out and again agreeing on something. Now this is what is a group. Now let's see what are the different types of group. One is a formal group, then is informal group. Formal groups are the groups which are formed by the organization, that are formed deliberately for specific purpose. Now informal groups are not formed, they are spontaneously formed. They form automatically within a society or within an organization. Now these types of groups are called informal groups. Now types of formal groups we can have. Types of formal groups are command groups, task forces, committees. Command groups are the groups which are functional groups. The hierarchical groups which are formed in an organization, which are having a top-bottom hierarchy, say a clerk, then a supervisor, then a manager, assistant manager, then a manager, then a chief executive officer. Now this type of groups are called command groups. Then we have task force groups. The groups which are organized together to form a particular task are called task groups. Then we have committees. Committees are some sort of organization which are formed from different members for a particular job. Now committees can be temporary committees, it can be permanent committees. Some committees, say for example a presidential formation committee, now that will be dissolved after the president has been formed. Now some committees like cultural committees, disciplinary committees of the organization, they keep on running from years to years. They are permanent committees. So the committees can be temporary, committees can be permanent. Now this was all about formal groups. Now we are coming down to the informal groups. Now informal groups are interest groups, friendship groups, cliques and reference groups. Interest groups, now those people who have common interest, they form a group that is called interest group. Friendship groups, the friends which together form a group is called a friendship group. Cliques, when within an organization certain people they join together from different status in an organization, they join and form an informal group that is known as a clique. The clique can be horizontal clique also, it can be a vertical clique also. Horizontal clique means when same group of people, say same managers, marketing manager, accounts manager, HR manager, all of these group together and form informal groups, that is called cliques. Now vertical cliques, the cliques can be, say that the cliques are between and clerk and assistant manager and a senior manager. Now this is called a vertical clique. Now clique can be mixed also, where they are both horizontal people also and vertical people also, that is a mixed clique. Now reference group. Reference group is a group in which person tries to be a part of that group, but he actually is not a part of that group for the time being. So he wants to be, he has a great desire to be part of that group. For example, the group, say, of cricketers. For example, that I want to be a part of army because I see my father as an ideal figure, so I want to be a part of the army. So that is my reference group. So I will be idealizing all the things of my father because I want to be in his group. Similarly, I want to idealize Tendulkar because I want to be an ideal cricketer. Now these are called as referent groups. Let us now consider now how the groups are developed. Now groups developed by a clear 5-stage model of development. Now 5-stage model of development was given by Tuckman in 1965. Now this model says that the group is formed by 5 stages. Now these 5 stages are forming, storming, norming, performing and adjourning. Forming stage, the very first stage, where the people collect together. They want to be a part of the group. They interact together, but there is great uncertainty within them. Because they do not know whether they would be a part of the group or not. There is uncertainty about the leadership present there. So then if they are successful in talking successfully, interacting successfully, they enter into another next stage of storming. Storming stage is a stage which is wild, where there is great fighting among the group members. Some of the group members align with some members, some of the group member align with another member. Now there is a fight of leadership, that who would be the leader in the group. That's why small groups will be created, and finally the fight would be sorted out by formation of one group member emerging as a group leader. Now once the member emerges as a group leader and all the people agree that that person is the leader of the group, this storming stage ends with that. Then comes norming stage. After the storming stage ends, the people know who their leader is. They know that they are going to agree on what he says, agree on the things what the leader will tell them to do. Then they form norms. The rules and regulations of the group are formulated in the norming stage. Once this norming stage is over, after the rules regulations of the group are formed and the group has started functioning normally, then the performing stage. Then comes the task which is to be performed, has to be performed during this stage. That is called performing stage. The norms have been formulated, everything, the leader is there, everything is in place. Now the group moves towards the solving of the problem for which it was formulated, or the goal for which it was created. That goal is tried to be solved. Once that goal has been solved, the performing stage ends and the next is adjourning stage. If the goal continues, then this performing stage continues. But if that group portion perform, the goal ends and finishes together, finishes off, then we enter into adjourning stage. That means all the groups will not enter into adjourning stage according to the Tuckman. Only those groups who have done their performance or who have achieved their goals or motives will enter into adjourning stage. And in the adjourning stage, what happens? The group breaks up, people move out of the group, they go back to their position, and the group disperses off. Now this is known as the adjourning stage. Now this was not the case. This groups were 5-stage model was given some criticism. People did not agree that this 5-stage model is okay. They said that some temporary groups are created. Those groups do not have these definite 5 stages. So they are quickly created and formed. They don't have even the time of passing through all the 5 stages. Now that so another model was given for the temporary groups which are created and often disperse very quickly. Now this model was called punctuated equilibrium model. Now this model had 6 stages, 6 phases of the group development. These were quick and